All right, well, my clock says noon, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Heidi Garvin with Grow Nebraska, and part of my job is that I get to help facilitate amazing trainings like these. So, welcome to Grow Nebraska's July 3rd Thursday training. We may have a few more people hopping on as we go. We did have quite a few registered for this one, but we'll go ahead and get started. So first off, Grow Nebraska's trainings would not be possible without the amazing support of some of our sponsors. And today's sponsor is actually REAP Women's Business Center. So we have Kim Preston on the line today. Kim, I'm going to unmute you, and she is going to tell us just a little bit about REAP's Women's Business Center.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to sponsor today's topic. Like Heidi said, working with Grow is a very rewarding experience for REAP and our staff. The Rural Enterprise Assistance Project is committed to strengthening rural communities through small self-employed business development, and we offer 4 essential services: financing, business training, technical assistance, and networking. Through REAP, we can help you create a business plan, research potential markets, marketing ideas, discuss management issues with our experienced business specialists, and of course, apply for a small business loan. As a small business lender, we've placed nearly $20 million in loans and leveraged over $25 million in additional funds since our beginning in 1990. The Women's Business Center is a center without walls, which means we have no physical location and we come to the business owner or client. I am located in the home office in Lyons, which is in northeast corner of Nebraska, about 80 miles north of Omaha and about 90 north of Lincoln. We have business specialists located across the state, and we specialize in outreach and training for those rural women entrepreneurs. If you go to our website, www.cfra.org /REAP, you'll find our training calendars and business specialists, and also more information about the program.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. And we will be in our follow-up email from this training, we will be including a link to your website. So if any of you didn't get that written down, you will have a link in that website. Awesome. All right. Well, next up, for those of you who are regular attendees of our Third Thursday trainings, you do know that we feature a member each month. So this month, our July 2018 featured member is the Nebraska Barn and Grill. If you're traveling down I-80, this is a must stop in Gothenburg, Nebraska. So they have amazing food, they sell products. It is just absolutely amazing. So if you have a chance, check them out. They have been a Grow Nebraska member since 2013. And now, the reason we are all here, I am going to turn it over to our presenter for the day. So Regina DeMars works for First National Bank, and she is going to be talking to us about the power of content marketing. So Regina, I think I've got you unmuted here. If you could give it a shot.
Yeah, hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect.
Awesome.
So welcome and thank you for joining me today. I'm Regina DeMars. I'm the Director of Content Marketing and Social Media Strategy at First National Bank. I've been in my role about 2 years. It was actually a new position that we created based on just the increasing importance of content marketing. And prior to this role, I've been in many different marketing roles over the past 18 years now at ConAgra Foods, and started my career at a PR firm in New York. So I've always been passionate about content marketing, and I hope you all walk away with valuable insights to build and strengthen your own content marketing efforts. Heidi, do I have the, let's see. I'm trying to go to the next slide. Okay, I think that worked. So what is content marketing? Key words on this page would be strategic and valuable and relevant. So every type of content, and I'll walk through our strategy overall, but everything that we produce, really want it to be valuable and relevant to our audience and drive customer behavior. So the term content marketing has definitely grown significantly over the past several years, but it's not new. I just thought these were some fun, great examples of strategic content from late 1800s to 1900s. So just showing examples of how people have been doing content marketing for a long time. It just maybe wasn't called that until the last several years. So why is content marketing important? So I didn't include this stat on here, but I think it's important. We all turn to Google. I know I do on regular basis, several times a day. There are actually 63,000 Google searches every second, which is around 5.5 billion a day. So this is obviously a place where people turn to find information. So we want to make sure that we're creating valuable content where people are seeking and turn to us as the experts to help address any problems that they're seeking answers to, and really want to be that trusted expert that they turn to for any need they have. So overall, I thought this was a great example just to show how our primary objectives are to drive awareness, loyalty, and grow the business overall. And we do that through an array of strategies aimed to move customers and potential customers through the relationship funnel. So going from brand awareness and consideration to selection, and then into the customer lifecycle management, where our role is really to deepen relationships, driving loyalty and advocacy. So we all know the path isn't linear. Typically, we need to engage with brands around 8 different touch points before we make any decision. So just showing, I like this example to show how it's not traditional advertising the way that it was many years ago, where you see an ad and you make a decision. And everyone can come in through the funnel in a different way. And it's definitely not linear. This slide, I thought, was a good example of showing different creative executions and messages that we typically have going on in any given market on any given day. So it can be advertising your brand, product, services, our people, our branch managers, loan officers, sponsorship efforts that we're doing, specific product offers, and our social media programming. So a lot of messages happening, and people are consuming a lot of content on a daily basis. So today, what you guys are all here for is I'm going to walk through key steps today to create a strategic content strategy. And I'll cover how we approach creating content from a B2C perspective, as well as touch upon what's newer to us, but we've been beginning to do a lot more support for our wholesale team, which is comprised of commercial C2C as well as wealth efforts that are more B2C. So the first thing at the start of every program we do, we define our goals and our KPIs. So it may vary based on programs, but typically we look at the awareness, the engagement, and conversion. So awareness goals, increasing our fans and our followers on our social media channels, increasing website and blog traffic from our social media efforts. And the KPIs for awareness is increasing the number of fans and followers and visits and time spent on our content on our website. From an engagement perspective, high interaction from the community and how many comments and shares and likes that we're getting. And for conversion, we obviously want to increase the number of conversions and conversions from our social media marketing efforts. So first I'm going to walk through just more of a consumer perspective and what we do to build brand awareness overall. And I am happy to send out these PDFs so you guys can see, so they're more clear and you can see all the detail on these. But we all know that the content being consumed needs to be tailored by each channel based on the audience. So we develop these personas for each of our consumer channels, including demographics, behavior, interests. So when we're building out our content calendars, we reference these to make sure we're pushing the right message to the right people so it's the most receptive. So these are the personas. These are not real people, personas that we've created for each of our channels. Potential audiences. This is just a sample of potential audiences we've identified to ensure we're developing content based on their needs. So someone who is a deal seeker, maybe more receptive to rate-focused content and looking for credit cards with best loyalty reward programs, or someone who is moving, they may be looking for a local bank to set up a checking and savings account. So we tailor our messages based on these audiences. So our content strategy for the brand for First National Bank, we started by defining our content pillars. So these are the 5 pillars: financial leadership, community support and partnerships, product highlights, brand identity, and employer of choice. This really helped us provide a framework and a filter as we're developing our activation ideas. And we're excited that every time we do an analysis on a monthly basis, we are seeing that our brand is exceeding the average rate of engagement. And Mintel actually just did a recent study looking at our bank compared to large national banks, and we had a 3% overall engagement rate, and on Instagram it was 13%. So it was nice to have that third-party validation that the content that we are producing is driving high level of engagement. So this just goes into a little more specific on our content pillars and examples of topics that we're supporting under each. So from a customer focus, that could be our free checking, products, instant issuance, mortgage, mobile, relationship-based. We do a lot of support of our small business partners. And then from an industry leader perspective, we push out a lot of content just showing our subject matter experts and positioning them as thought leaders. Strategic community partner, love that we support our local communities from several different ways, whether it be financial education, affordable housing, first in community efforts. Too many to list here, but just promoting everything that we're doing in the community to help create awareness. And then bank and employer of choice, just our overall brand efforts, sponsorship, awards that we receive, and employee relations. And I didn't include it on here, but kind of another pillar is just trending topics overall. So we want to make sure that we're engaging with topics that are important to people. And so we're always looking for what are trending hashtags that we can create content to be a part of that conversation as well. So the type of content is important, and also just to keep things fresh and engaging, we have a mix of formats that we push out, whether it's long form blog posts, video, infographics, quizzes and polls, images and contests. We're starting to do a lot more videos because those have really, every stat that we read on a daily basis, showing that people would really like to see kind of quick video stories. So we're incorporating more of those, but we know that people like listicle content. So depending on our channel, we will evolve what content that we're pushing and what type of format. So another big push that we've done over the last year is influencer marketing. We have seen that this has really helped us connect with new audiences and drive results by tapping into influencers networks. So this slide is just an example of bloggers that we've engaged over the past year to support our programs. It can be anything from helping promote our products like free checking, or promote our brand promotions, like with We Grow as One. We've done several different campaigns to support our small businesses, and we've engaged bloggers over all of our footprint and in our different markets to help spread that message. Media is always influential, whether positive or negative. So we invite media to our different events. We tag them in different posts. We share content with them so they're aware of what we're doing in the community, and hopefully promote that as well. So I've just included a few different examples. Mallory Maddox isn't in the media anymore, but this was a good example of, we did a Husker promotion and she shared it, and we got significantly increased our engagement by tapping into her strong network that she had. Partnerships. We have a lot of partnerships, and so this is just a few examples of how we leverage our sponsorships and our engagement. This one on the bottom left is a Community First Award that we do across all of our markets, where we actually ask for nonprofits to submit a project that they're working on, and we can grant them funds to be able to complete that project. So anything from really heavy community focus to Maha Festival in Omaha, or with the zoo, we'll do promotions with them as well. A program that we launched was about a year ago was our Employee Brand Ambassador program, which has really helped amplify existing experiences and reach new audiences. So we have a core number now, we're up to 35, and we provide content to our employees to encourage them and understand everything that we're doing from a marketing perspective, as well as they're just out and about capturing experiences that they're having. This one in the bottom middle is an employee that has her children at the daycare center at the bank and just graduation. So a lot of our employees were promoting the brand, but we didn't have a way to kind of capture all of the impact they were having. So created a hashtag inside FMB and just monitor more of that conversation to be able to share the impact back with all employees, which has been an awesome program to see build in a short amount of time. Another program that we launched in June of 2017, so a little over a year ago, was our mortgage loan officers. So we have 79 pages, and they are up to about 10,000 fans. And on an average day, this is really helping to drive leads and closings for them. So it's been amazing to see how, in a short amount of time, we're really seeing the business impact by having the mortgage loan officers create content and push it out on their channels. Wholesale marketing. So our wholesale team is comprised of commercial and wealth advisory teams. And our commercial team, their expertise spans several different verticals, including ag lending, commercial lending, fintech, and healthcare. So we just started developing content and pushing it out in March of this year. And we have really strong subject matter experts across all these areas. So we've been working with them to identify topics they think prospects and customers would find valuable to help generate leads. And we're in the process of a website redesign, and we'll have a blog at the end of the year that will really help get more readership. And in the meantime, what you see at the bottom of this slide is we've created an insights page where we can house all of our content and drive people to articles from our social channels. So this is just an example of a blog that we created focused on agribusiness succession planning. And we currently blog about once per week, and then we will push out those blogs on all of our brand social media channels. One of our most popular blogs has been fintech, and I think that's just because that's a heavily trending topic nowadays. So we work with our experts at First National to determine really what topics are most relevant, and that helps us drive media coverage and PR opportunities as well. We launched a LinkedIn showcase page, so commercial banking showcase page, where we push out this content that really allows us to market to specific buyer personas. And this will allow us to promote and cater to a specific audience. And now we're working on a wealth management showcase page because we have seen such significant results already from a lead gen perspective for commercial. So global banking, this is a great example of how we were pushing out foreign exchange weekly commentary email newsletters, but we weren't promoting it on social media. So the reach wasn't as strong. And so in the last few months, we're now promoting on social media, and it's actually led to national media coverage. And just, with the goal, and what's really working is helping to position our teams as experts so people turn to us on these topics. So this example is media coverage featuring our lead director of global banking, Mike Salerno. And so it started out with a blog that we helped author for him. And then we pitched it to media and got national media coverage on CNBC, USA Today, and Omaha World Herald. So just showing how developing a blog can get you so much more than just people reading that blog on your website. It can lead to national media coverage. I think that's it. So I know that's a lot of information in a short amount of time, but I hope that this at least gives you guys a better understanding of all the ways that we are creating content and kind of steps you can go about to create strategic content strategies. And if you have questions on what specifically we're doing or challenges that we overcame, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to talk through, because even though it's a lot of content that we're pushing out, I do have to say that there are always challenges, and we have been pushing some of these programs. We've been, building the case to implement them for, a year prior to being able to implement them. So I'm happy to talk through learnings and challenges that we faced over the last year.
Awesome. Well, Regina, this is Heidi. And
Hi.
I was just going to say, if anybody has a question, we do have a chat box that you can fill in. Otherwise, if you're on the phone, you can unmute yourself, I believe, by pressing 6 and star. But real quick, you talked a little bit, Regina, about personas. Could you tell us a little bit more about the process of creating those so that they're accurate?
Yeah. So when we developed our personas, we did a lot of research, and like I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, did a lot of Google searches and just looked at different studies in the past. And so, you can get high-level persona data through Google searches, but what we really did, and I'm happy to send out those PDFs, is think through, what type of TV shows are they watching? What type of articles are they turning to? Where are they getting their news from? So really, it was just a lot of research to develop those personas, and we have to update them regularly because we know that Facebook is always changing guidelines, as well as who is actually most engaged. And as a new channel comes along, like Snapchat, we know that younger audiences are moving to those. So it's really just a lot of research and looking at those specific channels to see what are the trends and what is the data that they're providing, like who is actually engaged on Twitter and what type of content are people that are going to Twitter looking for versus a Facebook or an Instagram or LinkedIn. And I would say the key thing is that when you're developing a content strategy, you should not push out the same content on all those channels, because the personas are very different. The audiences are very different that are engaging in each of those.
Wonderful. And Patricia would like to know, how did you identify who would be in your brand ambassadors group?
Great question. Yeah, it was actually a pretty lengthy process. So we initially did we were calling it a casting call. We pushed that out on our intranet and just asked a couple questions of our employees, just saying, if you could be any brand, or what is your favorite brand, what would it be? And we kind of took all those questions. We got about, from that Q&A, we probably had about 150 people, and then we narrowed that down and then did in-person interviews with each of them and selected the key first 25 that we wanted to kind of be a part of our first brand ambassador, our program. Our hope is that, we'll continue to grow this every year, but we wanted to keep it smaller at first, just so we could kind of train that team, see what content they're pushing out on a regular basis, what learnings do we have before we went to a larger group.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned that you use quizzes and polls. Do you see a lot of feedback and a lot of interaction with that? How do you promote interaction?
Yeah. We see a lot of engagement, especially with Twitter polls. People love quizzes, and it's just format that is continuing to gain traction. And sometimes our quizzes can be knowledge-based, or sometimes they're just based on a fun trending topic. And then I think the key thing is with that is once you get those insights from the different polls or the quizzes that you're having your audience take, then to have actionable, take action on them. So, we always talk about what are actionable insights that we're seeing from the information that we're getting, because if we ask a question and then don't follow it up with actually activating it, we're always listening to our customers, whether it's in social or, they're calling on the phone, making sure that we are implementing better programs and services and products based on their feedback.
Wonderful. And then for the videos, you talked about using quick videos on different platforms. How quick is quick? How short do you keep them?
Ideally, we want to have them be under 90 seconds. And so sometimes we will, even if we just push out something that's 15 seconds to 30 seconds, we have it linked to our YouTube channel, which has the full video.
Awesome. And how long are your full videos?
It depends on the topic, but typically no longer than 3 minutes. Some are 5 if they're more complex. Yeah. But we know that people like instant gratification and, typically based on all the different content that they are consuming on a daily basis, they like things short and sweet.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, if anybody else has questions, you can put them in the group chat. We'll do one more call here before moving on. All right. Well, thank you so much, Regina. Just a couple of quick things. If you enjoyed this training, we are very excited. We are going to be having a LinkedIn training coming up from one of Regina's colleagues, Danielle Johnson. And she and I are working. We changed the date on that, so we're trying to figure out when to get it set. But again, if you enjoyed this training, we do have them free every single month on the third Thursday of the month. This month, we also have our Google Livestream watch party, so you can register for that and watch online to learn more about Google tools that you can use for your business. So our next one is on July 25th, 2018, and this is your Small Business Summer School. So we're going to be talking about ways that you can gear up right now for the holiday season to see the biggest sales possible. Our next third Thursday training is going to be Raising Awareness on a Budget. This is going to feature Steve Molly from Molly Marketing on August 16th. And again, you can register for that at grownebraska.org. And if you are a member, don't forget that on the first Friday of every month, we do have a free training just for you. So for those of you who don't know, Grow Nebraska is a 501c3 nonprofit, and we are open. Members are allowed to join if they have a Nebraska business ID. So feel free to check out Joining Grow Nebraska if you're not a member. If you are a member, make sure you sign up for these trainings. They are amazing. And save the date for MarkeTech 2019. So for those of you who have never been to MarkeTech, it is Nebraska's premier marketing and technology conference. And this year, we're super excited. In 2019, we're going to be bringing in Amanda Bond. So she is the ad strategist. She's amazing. Check her out. Follow her on Facebook. She is absolutely phenomenal. So, and then just a quick reminder for anyone who is interested in joining Grow Nebraska for our annual state fair store, even if you have like a service business, we do have opportunities for promotion. I highly recommend you check those out. I will be including that in the follow-up email from this training, a link to learn more about how you can sponsor the store, how you can promote your business at the store. It is an amazing opportunity. And the deadline for that is coming up. That is July 31st. So if you are interested, get in on it now. And again, a huge shout out to our sponsor, Reap Women's Business Center, and our featured business, Nebraska Barn and Grill. So thank you, Regina, and thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you have an amazing day.